let's talk about the most under anticipated project of the year
The Marvels.
from Sony Studios, creators of Venom, Venom 2,
Spider-Man
No
No Way Home.
Spider-Man, No Way Home, Spider-Man, Far From Home, Spider-Man Homecoming, Morbius,
The Marvels.
Morbius, everyone.
Oh,
We're gonna talk about the Morbius final trailer. Uh,
it was
I
asked, and this movie's still going to be probably delayed until like April 30/31. So,
You didn't like it?
no. No, I mean, okay, I didn't hate it, but I'm not seeing this movie still.
Wow.
I'll give you
Why
this.
not?
If I don't rate the Batman at least like an 8 out of 10, then I'll go see Morbius.
Oh, so you're not gonna go see Morbius. So what am I gonna do then?
I don't know, talk about shit that actually matters.
It's so funny though, because you like the Venom movies. Like I
No, 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 no. Don't
no no no
twist
no
it.
no 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 no
Don't
no.
twist it to be that, oh, you love the Venom movies. I think they're funny. I don't think they're good.
This looks a lot better than the Venom movies.
It also has been delayed 8 times.
Right. So was
So,
Black Widow. So like I know that was a shit movie. I mean it was alright.
exactly. Exactly.
The Batman was good. What you mean? It hasn't come out yet,
Yeah.
unless you've seen it.
Yeah, and I'm gonna go see the Batman, and I'm gonna go love it. You should rewind the stream where we talked about the Batman for like an hour straight.
Is that a phone in your house?
Yeah, it's my dad's.
Ah, you've seen it?
I've seen it. Oh, so that is a good indication to pull my screen over and block out chat.
Do I block this user?
No, you don't block them. You block. I've turned the stream so I can only see this.
See me.
Yeah.
Well, how has this person seen it? Where do you live?
This person must like. Oh, I have showings of it today in Ohio.
Really? I saw a lot of people have that. I'd look for it. I couldn't find it unless I'm stupid and I didn't.
But it's only like I think it's only like the IMAX showings.
I don't. I literally. Yeah. The first showing for me is on a Thursday.
Nope, my first showings were today.
Awesome. I started IMAX fan event. Well, I hope you had a good time with it, my man.
Yeah,
I really do.
Don't spoil it, but
Yeah.
it's really
really good. I am glad to hear that. I have heard a lot of people say that so far, so that's good to hear. But to get back to the Morbius final trailer, do you got any thoughts from it?
No.
Wow.
I'm sorry. Look.
Wow.
I have never been so not motivated to go see a movie until Morbius, bro.
I don't know why. It has
I don't know either. I don't know.
He says I would say it's a Batman film we always wanted on screen. That's glad. I'm glad to hear that. I'm really excited. Yeah. As we mentioned earlier, but why has Keaton in it? Vulture, Morbius looks great. Like the design of the character.
I think my only reason to want to go see Morbius would just see if Andrew Garfield's in it. And that's not that exciting to me.
That's so weird to me, man. That's weird.
I think I'm just more or
what
less.
What about like the future of that Sonyverse? Are you interested in anything besides Venom? Craven?
Oh yeah, I'm excited to see Craven, but like Morbius as a character, even in the comics, was not exciting.
That's fair. But I could also make an argument for like a lot of MCU characters for that.
But they made them interesting. So
right, but what if they make him interesting?
Well, look, you tell me if he's interesting, and I'll watch it in a few months when it comes out on Blu-ray and digital.
That's weird to me, man. I can't believe that. That's weird.
I don't know.
I don't know why. Like, what is it exactly?
It's another thing that I'm.
Do you think you have a comic book fatigue? Are you?
I think that's the problem. Is that I'm gonna be seeing the Batman and then Moon Knight and then Morbius. It's just too much, and I think it was even too much around the Hawkeye and Spider-Man and Book of Boba Fett releases. I thought it was way too much content.
Right. Now, I would agree. Out of the next few months, it's my least anticipated project, right? But that doesn't mean I'm not gonna go see it. I just
Again, you go see it and you tell me how it is. You tell me
overall I didn't like this final trailer. The trailer before this was way better.
no.
Way better. I mean, this final trailer, like how much I was like they're really releasing a final trailer. You've already shown us a lot of stuff. How are you gonna show us more stuff? Uh
Yeah.
they did show us more Keaton, which makes me think that he when they talked about on Jimmy Kimmel about him shooting more Adrian Toomes stuff, they did some reshoots, and I think there's a lot more of him in this film than we think. And I will say, we could talk about just the one thing I noticed in the trailer. Obviously, it seems like the theme or the big message or idea of this film is that Morbius is going to struggle between the line of a good doctor and his vampire side, right? And Matt Smith, who is playing the villain, Matt Smith, who was supposed to play a young Palpatine in Rise of Skywalker, fun fact, is going to try to pull almost not a physical threat to Morbius, but again, kind of like the Riddler in the sense that he's going to try to pull Morbius into his more vampire side with Adrian Toomes. Now, I think a lot of people have said this that the only interesting thing about this movie is the possibility of the setup of a Sinister Six, right? The setup of a Sinister Six for Tom's Spider Man. But I'm really curious where they take this Morbius character. I don't know much about him from the comics. I know he's a vampire. I know he's a doctor that uh, had this cure, and the cure turned him into a vampire. So I'm really curious to see where they take this character. And I think it's a good theme or a good central idea for him to struggle between him being that Karen doctor, which you have to be as a medical professional, or that cold blooded killer that's a
That
vampire.
work for the Empire.
But
I don't know.
what do you think about it?
I think it's interesting in concept, but I think the big thing for me is the delays. I'm sorry. I know it's a thing that's like, oh, you can't really use that. It was COVID and whatnot. No, I like there's been movie delays like Black Widow, but I think Black Widow was a different thing for me because that was the first Marvel movie I'd seen in theaters, so it had unrefined excitement for me.
Yep.
It, but even then, I didn't like the movie's not that good. So,
Yeah.
um, it's a thing that's just like I don't care about Morbius, and honestly, I would rather have more or put more my excitement more towards um, Moon Knight instead. A thing that I'm almost certain is going to be far better.
I would agree with that. I'm not disagreeing with that. Do you also think it's a thing that it's not MCU?
No, Venom wasn't. Venom Left to Be Carnage wasn't. Um, so no, definitely
But then
not.
again,
Not at
Venom
all.
is also a more well-known
Even
comic
then,
character. Yeah, I think that's totally fair. What do you think about what do you think it sets up?
I
I
think
feel
it.
like that's the big thing you will probably care about. That's the only thing you'll probably want to know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
literally. I told you that like if there's anything big, let me know. If there's an Andrew Garfield cameo or shit like that, just let me know.
I doubt that.
And I honestly don't think that this is the Adrian Toomes from the MCU. I think this is the Venomverse Vulture.
Really?
Yeah, because how are you gonna make that make sense? Because if it's the Adrian Toomes from the MCU, then wow, cool. Morbius is in the MCU. Whoop de doo.
Because yeah, it can't be.
Because
It
my
can't.
thing is,
It can't be Vulture from the MCU because everybody who knew who he was brought into Tom's universe. Or they could say that, but like, how are people? So Vulture would have to leave Tom's universe.
no, he's a variant.
Think
That's
that's
it.
what they're going with.
Why not? Because my
I
thing
actually
is,
think that's more likely now that you say it. I think that
because
has to be it.
my thing is, how are you going to justify who that he's there? Oh, during the whole portal thing in No Way Home, he slipped through, but then never went back mysteriously.
And was still arrested in this other
Yeah.
universe.
So it's either this is the MCU or this is a variant.
And it
Which I
kind of can't be the MCU
yeah, because then you
because there's Oscorp already. There's
yeah, and
well, it could
going off of when No Way Home, Harry doesn't exist, or he doesn't know where Harry is, and Oscorp doesn't exist.
there's
The only
also a mistakenly put Spider-Man. Is it Tobey Maguire's, right?
Yeah, but I would also say to that just because we see his thing, that doesn't mean that it can't be inspired off of Tom's. Where it's like, oh,
Yeah,
it's just graffiti, so it's not always going to be 100% accurate.
right. But they're also posters and stuff that um show that there is a Spider-Man on like promotional stuff or like places where they shot. There are buses like, "Where's
Yeah,
Spider-Man?" There's also a Rhino in this universe. So is this Andrew's universe? Like, I think that's my most one of the things I am most curious about. It's like, where is this movie taking place exactly? What's going on here?
and I think
There's a
that'd be
Venom reference. Like, it's
yeah,
very odd.
and I think that'd be the only reason I'd be excited for it or excited to go see it is just figure out what universe this takes
Now
place
they
in.
could say it's a multiversal movie. That would be weird.
Mm.
Especially for an introduction movie for a character, because I feel like you got to focus a lot on that character in a solo film. So
Because my thing is like, I think it makes the most sense to be in Andrew's universe, but then you bring Venom into that universe because I'm pretty sure these are connected universes, if I'm not too mistaken. So
right, yeah, it's really weird. I don't know where they're going with it. I'm excited though. I think it looks great. I think the design, like Morbius's design, is very well done. It's something that Sony's done a really good job with. I love Venom's design. I know some people don't like it. I enjoy it. It's gonna look weird to me when the symbiote bonds with Spider-Man and I see the logo on it. I kind of want Venom not to have the Spider-Man logo on him.
yeah,
Uh, but yeah, it looks Morbius's design looks great. Curious where this movie takes place and what it sets up for whatever Spider-Man it may be's future. And what's up with his Sinister Six, his own Sinister Six, and Leto, Keaton, Matt Smith. It's got a really good, strong cast. I wish you would see it. I really do. Uh, but I get it. I think there's a superhero fatigue. I think there definitely is a comic book fatigue, and that's around a busy time, right? Moon Knight comes out that week. Um, we're going to be getting ready for Kenobi at that point, so